This is the top 5 action cartoons of the 1980s. Number 5, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1987. Now I know some of you are already mad in the comments, but hear me out. While the Ninja Turtles toy line came out in 1988 and outsold all the other action cartoons in the decade, and had over 65 episodes in the 80s, which is on par with most of their counterparts. The thing of it is, it ran through 1996 and had over 128 episodes, making it just as much of a 90s show as it is an 80s show. That's why it's at the bottom of the list. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sounds like some people were smoking in a room and came up with the idea and seems ridiculous. But matter of fact, it was awesome. You got 4 turtles with personalities with their ninja skills fighting robots against a badass villain named Shredder, a wise old rat named Master Splinter, a cunning female protagonist named April O'Neil. With all kinds of aliens and mutants and wild technology, the turtles had individual great personalities, and they all loved pizza. And what child doesn't love pizza? The fact of the matter is, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon was a cultural milestone moment, and it launched a juggernaut that the effects are even being felt today. Number 4, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Now, He-Man, for a lot of people, is their first superhero. Bunch of kids running around the playground holding up their arms saying, "I have the power." It also had one of the most iconic villains of all time with Skeletor. The fantasy world of Eternia was fantastic. You had iconic places like Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain, with some eerie backgrounds making the world feel vast. But as quickly as He-Man rose to prominence, it also faded away really fast. Part of that reason is it's the animation. Filmation used a certain style that just didn't hold up against its counterparts. And it was primarily aimed toward little kids because there is a lot of stuff that's just silly in the show. But despite all that, He-Man holds a special place in most kids from the 1980s hearts. Number 3, G.I. Joe, a real American hero. G.I. Joe had a lot of cool characters. They had ninjas like Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, pro wrestler Sergeant Slaughter, Duke, Lady J, and some of the most awesome villains of the 80s. Destro, the Baroness, Cobra Commander, and it is one of the few shows that replaced its big bad with Serpentor. Now, while G.I. Joe had crazy science like weather dominators and people being mutated with wild feats that most normal people could never do, compared to its counterparts, it felt more grounded. Kids always loved to play like they're in the army, and watching G.I. Joe made them feel like one day they could be an American hero, or a hero of some kind anyway. And that's why G.I. Joe Real American Hero resonated with so many people that it's still around even to this day. Number 2, Thundercats. Thundercats was ahead of its time. Its main protagonist, Lion-O, was an adult, but he was a child who was aged into an adult, making him very relatable to kids. Using the He-Man formula, it boasted a cast of characters with a magic sword and an evil, awesome villain named Mumra with one of the greatest transformations of the whole decade. The thing that makes Thundercats stand out from all the other shows is its animation. Its opening was done by the Topcraft Anime Studio, that later dissolved and became the forerunners of Studio Ghibli. You know, the people that made Spirited Away. These guys worked on Thundercats. But it was the little nuances that made Thundercats so good. Each Thundercat had his own action theme, Mumra had his own theme, and unlike most shows of the era, it had continuous storylines that started all the way back in the beginning, all the way to the end. Now, while Thundercats isn't as relevant today like the others on this list, there can be no denying the cultural impact that it had at the time. Number 1, Transformers. Whoever came up with this show is a genius. Kids love to play with cars and they love to play with robots, and they just put them together. The thing that made this show so different than all the others is 80s standards and practices just wouldn't let you shoot people and kill them, obviously, in kids' shows. But Transformers got around this because they were robots. While their personalities were just as human as any other show, there was always an element of danger and real stakes to it. It's not just my favorite show because of my favorite character of all time, Starscream, but all the characters that they did have. The relatable one like Bumblebee, the badass villain Megatron, Soundwave with his cassettes, the Dinobot, and of course, the crown jewel of the entire series, Optimus Prime. Now, Optimus Prime was the hero of the 1980s. He was wise and a father-like figure to a lot of children. So much so that when he died in the 1986 movie, there was a letter-writing campaign to the studios to bring him back. And because of the ratings, they really had no choice but to do that. Now, I don't know about you, but if that doesn't show how powerful the character of Optimus Prime was in the series to children everywhere in the 1980s, I don't know what will. Anyway, guys, that's my list. Do you agree with it? Drop your list in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching the Derek Ruby Show, and I'll see you guys next time.